You know only insofar as you can measure. Heavier-than-air flying machines are impossible. If you cannot measure it, then it is not science. If you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. All of science can be divided into physics and stamp collecting. In science there is only physics, all the rest is stamp collecting. There is nothing in science which teaches the origin of anything at all. When you are face to face with a difficulty, you are up against a discovery. If you study science deep enough and long enough, it will force you to believe in God. If we can't express what we know in the form of numbers, we really don't know much about it. Radio has no future. X-rays are clearly a hoax. The aeroplane is scientifically impossible. When you can measure what you are speaking about and express it in numbers, you know something about it. There is nothing new to be discovered in physics now. All that remains is more and more precise measurement. I believe that the more thoroughly science is studied, the further does it take us from anything comparable to atheism. Large increases in cost with questionable increases in performance can be tolerated only in racehorses and fancy women. Do not imagine that mathematics is hard and crabbed and repulsive to common sense. It is merely the etherealization of common sense. Ether is the only substance we are confident of in dynamics. One thing we are sure of, and that is the reality and substantiality of the luminiferous ether. Can you measure it? Can you express it in figures? Can you make a model of it? If not, your theory is apt to be based more upon imagination than upon knowledge. We only know God in His works, but we are forced by science to admit and to believe with absolute confidence in a directive power and an influence other than physical or dynamical or electrical forces. Nothing can be more fatal to progress than a too confident reliance on mathematical symbols, for the student is only too apt to take the easier course and consider the formula, not the fact, as the physical reality. I often say that when you can measure what you are speaking about and express it in numbers, you know something about it. But when you cannot measure it, when you cannot express it in numbers, your knowledge is of a meager and unsatisfactory kind. Accurate and minute measurement seems to the non-scientific imagination a less lofty and dignified work than looking for something new. But nearly all the grandest discoveries of science have been but the rewards of accurate measurement and patient, long-continued labor in the minute sifting of numerical results. Christianity without the cross is nothing. The cross was the fitting close of a life of rejection, scorn, and defeat, but in no true sense have these things ceased or changed. Jesus is still He whom man despiseth, and the rejected of men. The world has never admired Jesus, for moral courage is yet needed in every one of its high places by him who would confess Christ. The offense of the cross, therefore, has led men in all ages to endeavor to be rid of it, and to deny that it is the power of God in the world. In physical science, a first essential step in the direction of learning any subject is to find principles of numerical reckoning and practicable methods for measuring some quality connected with it. I often say that when you can measure what you are speaking about and express it in numbers, you know something about it. But when you cannot measure it, when you cannot express it in numbers, your knowledge is of a meager and unsatisfactory kind. It may be the beginning of knowledge, but you have scarcely in your thoughts advanced to the stage of science, whatever the matter may be.